Howdy, my name is Daimon, and I guess we're doing alter introduction videos. um, I'm going full bald today, because this is kind of close to what I look like, in a way. I guess, like, some background on me is I'm an introject of a original character, and so let me just give you, like, what my general, like, backstory was as a character, right? So basically, I was this person. I'm saying I was. I feel like a connection to it, definitely, but it's more so like it's kind of a symbolic connection, if that makes sense. I'm trying to distance myself from it a little bit because I'm not gonna lie, my connection to my, like, source, the piece of media, I guess, that I come from, only has ever caused, like, negative feelings for me. So, but basically, more or less, like straight up, I don't even know, like, I don't fully know the plot. But it's like, I was this person that would continually commit suicide, and then, like, my partner, boyfriend on and off again, best friend / like, at some points enemy, like, we had a, I'm just gonna say this as if it happened in the real world, but me and him had, like, a very weird, complicated situation going on. And something that another one of our alters, who was a host for a really long time, his name is Edgar, he kind of came to the realization that, like, so many of our alters are, like, experience this thing called limerence. So, and I think it's, like, as a way to, like, it's a way of kind of pretending that you have something to hold on to when you really have nothing. Kind of like when somebody's, like, really desperate and they turn to religion. I think it's something sort of like that. And that fits into my, I guess, kind of role in the system, because when I first formed, it was when we were going to our first semester of college, I believe. And my role mainly was to kind of over-focus on the memories I had from my source, so I didn't have to think about stuff that was actually happening, in, like, shared reality and all that stuff. And I also do a lot of substances that is supposed to help, I think, everybody cope. So, like, when I formed, I think, obviously, I was some sort of trauma holder, but the system as a whole, I believe, well, maybe some of us aren't, honestly, but, I guess we're kind of straying away from labeling each other as different, jobs in the system, because with that, like, as we got to know each other, we would start to, like, develop beyond our role, right? And our role would have to be something that we would have to consciously choose to do sometimes. And because what Edgar wanted at the time, which I don't blame I don't blame him. I guess maybe it was a little after this, or maybe. See, here's the issue here, is that I actually didn't exist during the portion of time that I'm trying to remember right now. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Okay, I forgot this important detail, that basically in, like, the plot of my of my story, like the I don't even know what to call it. Like, I don't know what to call it. A lot of systems will call it their source, but like, I don't know if the people that watch this video will have that base info. So, and I also want to say, like, I'm trying really, really hard to keep the front to myself, but it's like, it's difficult, because I think it's that I'm like trying to remember all these things that happened so far back, and it's like, we have amnesia. We don't have, like, at the angle that this keeps, like, switching to is not flattering at all. We had amnesia for, like, a long time. I'm so sorry, because, like, oh my god. Like, straight up, okay. I think somebody else is, like, up at the front with me, and I can't figure out who it is. I, like, can't figure out who it is, but, I'm trying to talk as me, and I think it's, like, messing with my voice. And that's another thing, really, is, like, me personally, I know that most people in our lives, I guess, are like, they see us as a freak. And that's fine, so I don't have an issue with it, but I know that other alters definitely have these issues when it comes to, like, people thinking that we're fake. And, yeah. When some of us have accents, not many of us do. I'm, like, one of, like, maybe 2 others, and one of them isn't even oh my goodness. One of them isn't even active anymore. He also had a thick southern accent like this. I don't know. And then the other one had, like, straight up, I don't even know what it was. It was, like, some sort of European, like, you know, them European, like, they're not like the British ones, but they're like listen, in my real life, I'm not very educated, and in my fake life, I'm even less educated. Okay, I'm sorry. Fuck, I don't know, they just sounded European. I didn't even get to the point that I wanted to get to, but basically, in the story that I come from, my, like, boyfriend that I've been talking about, had this, like, see, I don't even know who's, like, started this story, like, started writing it in our system. If I did, I would try to, like, ask them. But it's some sort of thing where, like, his DNA has some sort of, like, healing ability, right? And he would, like, continually, like, bring me back to life. And there was, like, other plots in between. I think it's all, like, really fuzzy, kind of, like, based on, like, mythology. And I don't know much about all that. My memories are mainly just kind of, like, the baseline list, like, fantastical stuff, like, that I went through with, my... It feels so disrespectful to say my boyfriend, because I don't really know if... I don't think that's what we were, but something like that. You see me still, like, I cannot, like, not talk about him as if he wasn't a real person to me. Like, I feel like that's something that I've had to come to grips with, the fact that I'll probably never get over that hurdle. But, see, I guess, like, something that we all have in common is our view of reality is very malleable. So, in a way, I would say that this person was definitely real to me, like, definitely concretely real to me, and has had concrete effects, like, on my person. But I guess I should specify, like, this close friend of mine was not a literal flesh and blood born from a pussy person like you and I, right? Okay, or unless you're like a C-section. I might have been a C-section baby. Come to think, I don't know. Maybe I should give, like, some baseline information about myself. So, like, how I present in the system is I'm something that's called an age slider, which is like, my age will fluctuate. So my appearance in the system also fluctuates. And I believe, like, the ages that I go between are, like, it's all really fuzzy. Like, it's all really, like, conceptual. But I'd say probably like 10, 11 at the absolute youngest, like around that age, up to, I'd say, my late 70s. Right now I'm sitting at a comfortable, like, 30, 40 something. In the inner world, my skin is white. I've got a farmer's tan, like a t-shirt tan. And I've got like a t-shirt tan in the summertime. In the winter, I've got like, it's hard to explain. It's like my body is an ombre. This is like not pertinent information to you. Oh my God, this is not relevant to you at all. My favorite band is the Dead Milkmen. And I also really like Dan Byrne. I really like 50s and 60s, like doo-wop bop type music. And I like old country, like 40s country. Though I couldn't tell you like individual artists in that category. And what else about me? My favorite animal is the chicken. I feel like such a stereotype. But I guess that's kind of like the idea, like, I feel like a lot of like the like it seems to me that a lot of people with DID will like introject concepts and like get like oh my God, their altars will be representations of different archetypes that exist like in popular culture or in like religion. And it's interesting because like the roles in a system kind of like align to that in a way. You could say, I guess. I don't know, mate. Like, yeah, so I'm having an epiphany right now because I'm thinking like the types of people that like other altars in our system must have interacted with when we were young, when we were like go out to hang out with our brother, would be kind of like the type of archetype that I am. Like white trash, hillbilly, drinking, smoking, partying, like super extroverted, crazy, doing like random dangerous shit type stuff. And that was like the times that we would go out and get to have like experience a type of freedom. That actually makes, oh my God, wait, no, because that makes so much sense. Because when I formed, we was just going into college, and I've got to center myself again. And it was when we were going to the Christian college. Okay, what the fuck? Yeah, that's my bad. I'm trying to figure out who I am right now because, damn it, see, this is what I worried about. Every time I wanted to, like, do these types of videos, I worry about the fact that, like, we've worked so hard at becoming co-conscious that now it's hard to not be co-conscious. Do you know what I mean? Which makes it even more impossible for other people to, like, tell the difference between us. It makes me so mad. Like, and I did it, I sabotaged it. Why did I do that? Who the fuck even am I? When I was younger, I didn't like a lot of the ways that DID channels would be like, switch card on camera, whoa, and make it like this huge production. Or honestly, maybe they weren't making it a production. Maybe it's just that I don't relate in the way that I switch as a system, or the way that we all switch. But a lot of like the ways that people would switch would make me feel like I was faking. And now that like I can like watch it on video and see myself like doing all this random like looking off into the distance, zoning out, going like long periods of time without speaking, and then like my voice completely changing, like okay, who am I? Like, I worry about people thinking we're fake. Let me go through a list real quick, because little me would have liked to have something like this to watch, to like see how other people who actually have the thing go through processing their processes in real time. So let me think here. Mason? I don't think I'm Mason, but I think Mason has been here recently. Igor has been here recently. Memory's definitely here. Okay, yeah, I'm Memory. But I feel like that's not it though. Who else is here? Edgar. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe we're getting like a little 3-for-1 right now. Me and Edgar / me and Memory are like very blended right now. I think we were like kind of like, so like our system does this thing called shelling. I think is like a community term that has been come up with for it, where basically like one alter can be at the front and kind of create this barrier or this filter that can filter other alters like thoughts, emotions, desires through their one personality lens. And it's kind of a way of being blended, but being blended in a way that like makes you all more cohesive. That's very, very relatable to us. And I think that something like that was trying to happen when Daimon was fronting. I gotta know why Daimon just fucking split. That kind of is like him though. We officially have Mason, Memory, and Edgar. Let me see if I can try and explain this as the rubber band ball I feel like right now. So Edgar used to be our host, and he's kind of like a no-nonsense, like logical man. But he's very like, he's not like, I was gonna say he's not robotic. He's a little robotic, but not in like a, not in a scary or negative way. He's very warm, he's very inviting and welcoming and comforting, and he's very much like a dad figure to a lot of, I personally call him dad as Memory. Cringe if you want, I don't care, fuck you. And Mason is, again, like not technically my brother. I kind of like, I'm like the one person in the system that kind of goes around and I like assign familiar roles to people, but it's not in a mean way. It's just like I see you as my brother, dude. Hashtag bro, dude. Yeah. Mason is like the edgy older brother figure, except he's like not threatening in any way whatsoever. How can I explain him? He's just like, I don't know, he's just a guy. Kind of how I feel. But like not in a mean way, but like just like a regular guy, like just like a regular teenage boy figure. I mean, I guess I can get like angsty, edgy, like I don't know, like he's a little bit standoffish, but I know that he doesn't mean it that way. He's just kind of pissed off all the time. Yeah. He can be fun. I'm really bad at describing people's like personalities. But he's a very fun person to me. I think I, as Memory, am the one that kind of ruined this, because anytime I get the chance to like talk about other people in the system, I get so excited because I never get to, and I literally like, they're like my best friends, like they're like my best friends, and I can't like, to my best friends in the shared reality, real life, whatever, I can't share my best friends with my best friends, and it kind of like pains me. But yeah, so I get really excited when I get to talk about them, and I think that's probably why I showed up. Also because, like, I have a lot of the memories that fill in the gaps of what Daimon was missing. I wish he was, like, I feel like he's, like, not even around anymore. I wonder why he left. Let me see if I can give, like, a more concise explanation of who we all are. So Daimon is usually this old guy who wears this big-ass coat no matter the weather, and he wears a little chicken hat, and he's always smoking a cigarette or several, and he basically, when he's, like, fronting, his main prerogative is to get the body drunk or high immediately. But that didn't happen today. That may be why he left. Because we were kind of, like, being like, well, you know, if we get a video filmed, we may partake in some fun. If we get a video filmed. And that's kind of how I guess it just, like, dude, Daimon has no, like, follow through. Like, I love him. He's built on passion. He's built on what he wants to do in the fucking moment. You know what I mean? And I respect that. I'm kind of the same way, but unless it involves an obligation I have to another person. And in that case, like, I'm, like, so happy to be like, yes, I'll do it for you. As long as I like you. That's really the one exception. Daimon is, like, he's a very, like, jokester, energy up, like, mood booster type guy. Like, he's very funny, or he can be. Not really one-on-one, but, like, when you get him in a group setting, I think he likes to perform, maybe. I don't mean any of this mean. Like, again, I don't mean any of this mean, but he does like to be, like, he lives for when he can be the center of attention, and it's, like, positive attention. And those moments don't come frequently. Daimon, I don't know how much of his personal info I should spill, but I'll spill, like, I won't spill anything that I wouldn't spill about myself. He's a very sad old man. And I feel very worried for him a lot of the time. And I wish that he would talk to the rest of us more often. But, like he said, like, a lot of his issues have to do with these, like, pseudo-memories that he has. And so, and a lot of us, like, we don't share those memories. And I think maybe Edgar was the one who started writing the story. If not Edgar, then, like, alters that later fused together to become Edgar started writing the story. But, like, the rest of us don't have all the info on it. And even Edgar is, like, kind of, like, Edgar's, like, he's great, and he is very, like, logical and stoic, but when something, like, when he doesn't have a script in his head for something, it's, like, really obvious, and you can tell. No offense, but, like, no offense. Because I think I also do that. Maybe. Oh, but yeah, but, like, basically, Edgar, like, at least near the beginning, had some awkward feelings about talking to Daimon, and feeling, like, vaguely responsible, because, like, he was the one that, like, wrote the story to begin with. But you can never really choose, when you have DID, like, what your brain is going to latch onto and make. I know that there are people that, like, do, like, self-made systems, or tulpomancy, or whatever. I don't know about all that stuff. I'm not the type of person to care about system discourse. I think that people know themselves best, and anyone that isn't the self can't really tell the self what it is. So, but that's irrelevant. So yeah, Daimon is, like, the old guy that, like, works at the gas station that you're, like, acquainted with, and you go in, and, like, he used to be, like, some train hopping crust punk crazy freak, but now he's just like an old guy at the gas station, and he's a little goofy. And that's kind of like what Daimon is. Like, if you've experienced that experience in the South, if you know that archetype of person, then that's what Daimon is. Edgar I think you probably got a good handle on Edgar. He's like a gentle soul, like yeah. And he's really into like not classical music, but definitely classical adjacent sounding music, like based on the stuff that I've heard him listen to. Philosophy, political theory, very invested and passionate about like keeping up to date with politics and keeping involved with all that sort of thing. Edgar in the system, his role is like my kind of role in the system is to welcome new alters and like get alters together that I think would make good friends, getting everybody situated and like making sure that nobody comes in and is like, what the fuck is going on, like fully alone. Edgar's role, I think, is more the accustomate, what is that word? Accustomate everybody type of thing, like more of a like, okay, now let's get you situated, let's get you everything that you need, let's have like these long conversations about like whatever you need to talk about, that sort of thing. He's kind of like the system therapist in a way. I love Edgar. I think he's wonderful. Like, so much of the progress in our system we would not have made without Edgar. See, I actually feel schizophrenic because sometimes I want to like respond out loud to like things that they say to me in here, but that makes me look crazy. I really need to get over the fact that people will like look at us and be like, you're insanely odd, and be okay with that. I need to be okay with that because I like odd people. I could be likable and odd. I know this is true. I don't know how these videos are gonna go from now on. I don't know if we're like gonna redo better individual ones, if we can ever get to a point where we can single ourselves out as good as we can function as a single entity. Maybe not even that. We need to be better at calling ourselves out individually than we are at functioning as a single entity, because we're not like perfect at that either. I just keep talking. I just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. I love you. I hope you have an awesome day or night or other time period. And I hope you are blessed. Goodbye.